Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my podcast, Live Your Best Life Every Day. My name is Stefan Dajo, and in today's episode, we're going to be discussing emotional well-being. Get comfortable and let's get started. In today's fast-paced world, where everything seems to be moving at a lightning speed, emotional well-being is often overlooked. While much emphasis is being given to physical health and professional success, emotional well-being is equally crucial to living a balanced and, of course, fulfilling life. Without it, even the most outwardly successful lives can feel empty or chaotic. So, what is emotional well-being and why is it so important? To begin with, I need you to take some few seconds to reflect on where you are at emotionally. Would you say you're emotionally stable? Or better yet, would you say that you're emotionally well in terms of you being happy with the current emotional state that you have on a daily basis? Very well. In order for you to better your emotional well-being, you need to first understand what is emotional well-being. It refers pretty much to the ability to understand, manage, and express your emotions effectively. It is about having a positive outlook on life, being able to cope with stress, for instance, and maintaining healthy relationships. Emotional well-being isn't about being happy all the time. No, that's very utopic, and that's something that I believe we can all agree can never happen. You cannot be happy all the time. But it is about resilience, the capacity to bounce back from life's challenges and maintain a sense of inner peace and stability. A lot of us have been through challenges in life or through situations that took our smile away, or better yet, took our joie de vivre away. But the thing about life is, no matter what you do, life is going to come at you, no matter where you are at. Whether you think you are financially thriving or, you are just there trying to make it on a daily basis, life is going to come after you, because life knows no age, it knows no status, it knows no gender, it knows no race. It comes after everyone. So since we cannot avoid life coming after us, we need to master, the principles to make sure that whenever it does come after us or at us, we can bounce back and keep going. You need to understand that you don't have to look like your challenges. Better yet, you don't have to stay down because life got you down on your knees. Take the time that you need, but then rise up and get going. Okay? We are going to be going through a few points here because I need you to understand why emotional well-being is important and what it can add in terms of value to yourself if you get into that right mindset. Okay? The first point is an improved mental health. Emotional well-being is closely linked to mental health, in case you didn't know. People who manage their emotions well are less likely to suffer from mental health issues like anxiety, depression, or burnout. They are more equipped to handle the ups and downs of life because they view challenges as an opportunity for growth rather than an insurmountable obstacle. You need to understand that most things in life are about perspective. Okay? For some, when you see a mountain, you're like, oh, how am I going to do? But for some others, when they see a mountain, they see an opportunity to go for a hike. So it's all about the perspective and the significance that you give to certain things. Personally, I've learned to take any challenge that rises as an opportunity to learn and grow. Because if I see those challenges as roadblocks, then they will stop me. Believe it or not, at many stages of my life so far, if I had to give up, or better yet, if I had to feel overwhelmed by everything that I had been through, I wouldn't be where I am today. I won't be talking to you. But I am because I decided at some point that, you know what? If I'm going through this, then I better grow through it. Let me not waste this experience. There is an opportunity here. Let me take advantage of it. And I realized that quite often, when you actually learn what you're supposed to learn within a certain situation, when it represents itself again, or better yet, when that particular thing shows up in the future, you are better equipped to handle it. Because remember what I told you in the beginning, life is going to come at you whether you want it or not. And sometimes it's the same thing that keeps coming back. If you have mastered it, if you have been paying attention, you will realize that it's the same thing coming back, just in a different shape and form. So if you've learned what you needed to learn, then it won't bother you and it won't affect you the same way it did at first. That's the thing right there. Okay. The second point is better relationships. You have to practice emotional intelligence. What is pretty much the ability to recognize and manage your emotions and the emotions of others around you. Of course, it is a cornerstone to healthy relationships that I have to emphasize on. When you're in tune with your emotions, you are better able to communicate your needs. You are better able to understand others, and you can easily resolve conflicts. This will lead to a more meaningful and fulfilling connection with those who are around you. It's as simple as that. Okay. And if you need me to make an episode on emotional intelligence, definitely that I can do for you. Okay? Just don't hesitate to perhaps comment or DM me, or better yet, email me, regardless of the platform where you come across this episode. Okay. The point number 3 is going to be increased productivity. Emotional well-being directly impacts your ability to focus, to make decisions, or to stay motivated. When you're emotionally balanced, you are more likely to be productive, to be creative, and effective in your personal and professional life. Now, a long time ago, one of the guys who used to work with me was very much of an emotional wreck, if I can put it that way. He used to pretty much be a mess at work. And at some point, I had to talk some sense into him because, again, I believe that it is my responsibility not to change people's life, no. It is my responsibility to make sure that one way or the other, I impact the lives of people around me. Now, changing or not, that remains their decision. That's not something that I can make or do for them, right? So I spoke some sense into him and I told him once that, listen, when you allow yourself, because yes, it's a choice, when you allow yourself to be an emotional wreck, what good does that do to you? He was unable to reply. And I told him, it doesn't bring you any good whatsoever. And if you observe, things only get worse. And I can understand that we all have our good and not so good days. But you need to learn how to keep it together. You need to learn how to process stuff in a way that while you are dealing with them, it doesn't necessarily affect other stuff. Just because you're not doing well emotionally doesn't mean that it has to affect. Do you understand? That's where emotional intelligence comes in. Learn to manage your emotions. Learn to channel them. Okay? Learn to channel them. Point number 3, physical health. Your emotional well-being will eventually affect your physical health. It can cause chronic stress, for example, which can lead to a host of physical problems, including but not limited to heart disease, high blood pressure, and a weakened immune system. By managing, or better yet, by learning to manage your emotions and reduce stress, you can actually improve your overall health and well-being. Now, you might ask me, if you were in front of me right now, or if you were live, how do you think, or better yet, what do you mean by saying that the emotional well-being will affect the physical health? Well, tell me this. When you don't feel alright and you take yourself to the gym, are you able to perform the same as the days when you are actually feeling alright, emotionally? Of course, you can't perform the same. You cannot. But, again, If you bring into the equation emotional intelligence, even if you are going through something, you will still be able to perform when you get to the gym. You will, because you will be able to make sure that whatever it is that you are dealing with or whatever it is that is affecting you does not mess up with other aspects of your life. Okay? You need to learn to kind of like, it's like having a cupboard in your brain. Compartmentalize, okay? And let them be where they need to be. Because if you don't do that, you'll be a mess. And a lot of people out there are actually struggling with that. And my advice is compartmentalize. Put things in different compartments in your brain and deal with them separately. Don't let them mixed up, otherwise you can easily feel overwhelmed and things are going to get out of control. And when it gets out of control, guess what? Turmoil, confusions, and so on. You don't want that now, do you? Taking charge of your emotional well-being is essential for living a balanced and fulfilled life. Here are some few steps on how that can be applied in your everyday life to help you maintain your emotional health. Okay? Again, here, there are going to be few points, and I need you to take notes, or better yet, listen attentively. The first point is going to be embrace mindfulness in your daily life. Mindfulness is more than just meditation. It's a way of living altogether. By intentionally focusing on your present, you can increase the awareness of your thoughts and feelings. Start with a simple practice like mindful breathing, for example, or better yet, paying attention to your surroundings during a walk or jogging. Mindfulness can reduce stress, it can improve focus, and it will enhance, for sure, your emotional regulation. That is why incorporating short mindfulness exercises into your daily routine can help you to stay grounded and manage your emotions more effectively. Okay, the second point is to foster positive relationships. Building and maintaining positive relationships is crucial for emotional well-being. According to some research from the Harvard study of adult development, strong relationships are key to happiness and health. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and support you, okay? People who support your growth, in a nutshell. Engage in open and honest communications and invest time in relationships that matters. Stop trying to force people to be in your life or to be around you. Stop trying to bend yourself in 4 or to divide yourself in 10 for people, okay? Focus on relationships that are meaningful to you. What brings you peace, happiness, fulfillment, joy, things that bring you growth. Focus on that because that is what matters. Make it a habit of connecting with loved ones regularly. Okay, and by loved ones, I don't necessarily mean family. No, I'm talking about your loved ones, the people that you know love you and that you love back. Okay? Point number 3, set and maintain healthy boundaries. Now, boundaries are something that a lot of people are afraid to state because the moment you set boundaries, it doesn't always go right. You might end up losing certain people here and there in your life. But that's when comes the hard choice. You need to choose between you and people, because if you don't set healthy boundaries, guess what? You're going to be a mess. And when you're a mess, do you think that those people are going to stick around? No, they won't. Whether you work on yourself or not, you are likely to lose certain people. Okay? That's why you need to make it about you. When it comes to mental health, emotional well-being, and so on, it has to be about you first. Don't forget, instead of running after butterflies, if you have a beautiful garden, butterflies will come. The garden will attract the butterfly. And in this particular case, what I'm telling you to do is be the garden. Be that beautiful garden and let butterflies find you. It's as simple as that. Okay? Boundaries are essential for protecting your emotional health. Okay? Boundaries define where you end and others begin. That's why you need to learn how to say no without guilt and recognize your limits. Whether it's at work, in friendships, relationships, or with family, boundaries ensure that you don't overextend yourself. That's why you need to practice assertiveness by clearly communicating your needs and respecting your own time and energy. Okay? Because by prioritizing your well-being, you can avoid emotional exhaustion and maintaining balance in your life. Remember that you can only affect people positively if you are doing all right yourself. You can only attract good if you are doing good yourself. You can only attract positivity if you are in the right mind. Okay? Point number 4. Incorporate self-care into your daily routine. Now, believe it when I say this, self-care is not a luxury. It's a necessity for your emotional well-being. Okay? It is. Self-care includes activities that nurtures your body, your mind, and your spirit all together. It's a combo. It is a combo. So, identify what recharges you, whether it's regular exercising, engaging in certain hobbies, spending time in nature, or simply relaxing with a good book. Make self-care a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. By taking care of yourself, you build resilience and you are better equipped to handle stress and adversity when they show up, because they will show up, that's a fact. But you're going to be ready. Point number 5. Seek professional support if you need it. There is no shame in seeking help when you need it. Therapy or counseling can provide valuable tools for managing emotions and, of course, overcome challenges. Okay? They can help you gain insight into your emotional patterns and develop a healthier coping strategy. So if you are feeling overwhelmed or stuck and you can't reach out to anyone that you know, don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional. Do not hesitate. You can find them all over. There are some on IG, again, if you need a reference, find someone who can assist you. Okay? It's really important. I remember once I had a friend, of course, that was a long time ago, and we sort of lost touch. But I remember once we were having a conversation and he was telling me what he was going through. And at some point I tried to advise him. But the thing is, he was not comfortable, and I could tell by his body language. And then he told me this, that, Stefan, don't take this wrong, but the thing is, I don't feel comfortable, discussing this with you because I feel like I'm being psychoanalyzed. And there is nothing wrong with that. It's just that, it's making me feel completely and totally naked. And I feel a certain kind of way because I know you, and you know me. I would feel way better if I was talking to a stranger about it. And in fairness, that's completely valid. And I told him, I respect that. I understand that. And of course, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and do so. And he went on. He got into therapy. And a year down the road after that, he was a completely different person in terms of he got to that better place that he was seeking and wanted to be at. We are no longer in touch today. Not sure where he is at in the world. But last time I checked, he was doing great. He was doing great. So that's what it is about. Help yourself the way you can. That's it. There is no one way. There is no one way to get help. Help yourself the way you can, as long as it's a healthy way and something that's going to get you back. Or better yet, as long as it's something that's going to get you on the path that you are seeking. Okay? Point number 6, cultivate emotional awareness. Now, emotional awareness is the ability to to recognize and understand your emotions. Okay? Dr. Daniel Goleman, the author of Emotional Intelligence, highlights that emotional awareness is key to managing stress and improving relationships. Start by checking in with yourself regularly. How are you feeling? And why journaling, taking a trusted friend, or better yet, reflecting on your day can help you identify emotional triggers and patterns. By understanding the root causes of your emotions, you can address them proactively and prevent negative emotions from escalating. You need to understand that life is a journey. The ups and downs, I repeat, are always going to be there. It is what you make of them that will define you. Understand me? Your ups and downs will not define you, but what you make of them will define you. Because that's your narrative right there. Enhancing your emotional well-being is an ongoing process, and it requires a lot of attention and effort. It's not something that happens overnight. By embracing mindfulness, by fostering positive relationships, by setting healthy boundaries, by incorporating self-care, by seeking professional support when you need it, and by cultivating emotional awareness, you can build a solid foundation for your emotional health. These strategies are not just theoretical, by the way. They are practical steps that you can integrate in your everyday life. Remember that emotional well-being is a journey, not a destination. Take it a step at a time, a day at a time. You're gonna get there. More power to you. Feel free to share this episode with whoever you think this might be relevant to, okay? And of course, I encourage you as well as invite you to check out my latest book, available on Amazon. The title of the book is Anti-Growth Triggers. My name is Stefan Dajo. Thank you for listening to this episode. Have a good day or evening, wherever you are at on this beautiful globe. And until next time, stay tuned.